The Times Group's ET Now Global Business Summit is Asia's flagship global leadership forum, designed not to look back at change, but to engineer what comes next. Anchored in the theme, a decade of disruption, a century of change. In this episode, the focus is on how Essar Group has transformed its global presence and sharpened its strategy, positioning itself for its next phase of growth driven by innovation, efficiency, and sustainability.
Essar is a privately owned global investor, specializing in building and nurturing world-class assets diversified across the core sectors of energy, infrastructure, metals and mining, and technology and retail. The group has revenues of over $15 billion and employs 7,000 people. We have also fulfilled our corporate social responsibility through focused community uplift programs. Essar's current portfolio spans critical sectors of the economy. Under Essar Energy Transition, we operate one of Europe's most advanced refineries and a rapidly expanding retail network. As a chosen decarbonization partner of the United Kingdom government, we plan over $3 billion investments to build a range of low-carbon energy transition projects. We are transforming our Stanlow refinery into one of the world's first low-carbon refineries, developing the UK's first low-carbon hydrogen production plant with a capacity of 350 megawatts. We will also be establishing Europe's first hydrogen-ready combined heat and power plant. We are also developing India's first commercial biorefinery to produce sustainable aviation fuel. We are one of the foremost unconventional energy players in India, supporting the government's vision of making India a gas-based economy. In its infrastructure portfolio, Essar is known for building and operating world-class ports and terminals. The company is currently operating ports in India, United Kingdom, and Indonesia. Essar is a pioneer of India's private sector power landscape. With over 25 years of experience in power generation and transmission, we are now focused on transitioning to a sustainable energy portfolio. As an engineering procurement and constructions company, Essar boasts of over 5 decades of executing complex industrial projects globally. In the metals and mining sector, Essar has a stellar record of building world-class assets across the entire steel value chain. We are leveraging our global steel expertise to build a state-of-the-art 7 million tons per year direct reduced-grade iron ore pellet plant in the United States. In technology and retail, we are leading the drive for green mobility, transforming road logistics in India by decarbonizing the sector with LNG and EV-powered trucks. Our investments span green truck manufacturing, fleet management, and the development of green fuel hubs for liquefied natural gas and electric energy solutions. Our flagship technology business, Black Box, is positioned to support digital transformation and AI adoption by leveraging hyperscale data centers and secure enterprise networks. Armed with a strong balance sheet and stellar leadership, bolstered by sustainable earnings from portfolio businesses, we are continuing our journey of investing in and operating state-of-the-art assets in India and across the world, creating value for all stakeholders. Essar, transforming tomorrow.
Essar Group has gone through major transformation, especially in past decade, and is ready for next phase of growth. And to discuss the strategy further, I have with me Group CEO, Mr. Prashant Ruia. Mr. Ruia, welcome to ET Now. My first question to you is, how do you describe the current phase of growth which the group is going through?
Well, it's very interesting times we live in. And our group is basically responding actually to what's happening around us in the world. As you know, Essar is primarily focused in 4 sectors: energy, technology, right, infrastructure, and metals and mining. And we are actually a global group in the sense we have obviously our primary focus in India, but we also have significant investments globally. And what we are seeing right now is many factors come really together. One of them is the strength of the Indian economy, the Indian demographic, all the positives which are happening around India and India's growth in becoming world's 3rd largest economy. And obviously that has a massive rub-off effect in the sectors which we are playing. And then the second is that even globally, most of these sectors for many years were not being invested in. But because of the change in technology, whether it is AI, whether it is energy transition, or in the technological space, because of the change in technology, all of these, the rest of the world has also become very much growth oriented and investing heavily in energy, investing heavily in infrastructure, etc. So we are actually in a very interesting phase where there is growth all around in the sectors which we are, and we are actually evaluating this and looking at what should be the best opportunity for us to participate in. But overall, I would say certainly a period of growth over the next 3 to 5 years.
And definitely, if you talk about even Indian economy, as per the revised base, India is set to grow. 7% potential growth was highlighted in an economic survey, and we have grown consistently over 7% in past 3 years, and that is not true for other peers which are there in Asia and even globally. So, how do you think Essar Group is going to benefit from India growth story?
Group principal focus has always been India. We will always be Indian group. We will always be based here. We are investing again in India. But again, just the point you made is that the economy right now is extremely strong, and I honestly believe that this rate of growth will remain for a while. And if you think about even internationally, the position which India is gaining as for providing supply chain, security, or for domestic growth itself, every parameter is pushing for better growth. And frankly, the fiscal position of the country is extremely strong. Our infrastructure investments, which are being made, 12 lakh crores, committed in the budget this year, 11 lakh crores last year. I mean, those investments are there to be seen. I mean, if you drive around in city of Mumbai today, I mean, it's a transformed city, right? So, and that's all happened because of the investments in infrastructure which have come, whether it's the coastal road or the metro. So it's a good period, and we obviously would like to, overall as a group, I would say we are about 50% focused in India, 50% of our revenue and business is in India, and then 50% is international. So that's how we split what we are looking at.
Right, and India, which everybody understands, is cricket. I know that you also watch the matches very carefully, and therefore I will ask in the cricketing language. In the businesses which you have described, and there are many like mining, metals, infrastructure, technology, even retail, which are the businesses where you will see 2020 kind of a growth, fast growth, where stable growth can be there for some years like ODI, and where sustainable kind of a growth you see that yes, these are the legacy kind of sectors which you have been carrying on. How do you describe your phase of growth in cricketing language?
I would say the infrastructure businesses are where we are building infrastructure for, whether it's a power sector, any renewable power sector, or whether it's like the digital infrastructure which we are participating in for data centers. So those kind of sectors are more the test match variety, because they are large investments, but they are 15-year, 20-year, 30-year kind of investments. But then significant growth is happening around energy transition. It's happening around, for us, in the technology space, where we are building green mobility, which is basically electrification of the heavy trucking industry, or in companies like Black Box, which we have, where we are doing network infrastructure and growth and building out data centers for people, especially in the US. So those would be, I would say, more the T20 variety. ODI in the middle, I don't know. but yeah, I would say the steady commodity and infrastructure businesses would be more the longer version. And then the technology and these are the new things which are happening, and that's short term.
Mr. Ruia, we are at a time where the global scenarios are changing, especially with Mr. Trump being very active. and all the companies have been adjusting. How are you positioning yourself, adjusting to the current situation so that in the longer period the group can avail the kind of opportunity which is there? Even Prime Minister says it is a matter of identifying the opportunity as well at this time. So how are you preparing yourself, and how much of the opportunity you see there?
Look, we've actually done quite a bit of preparation in the last 2-3 years. I think we have got a good set of investments which we are currently making. Internationally, significant investment in the UK, where we are building a hydrogen plant and possibly data center capability in the UK, alongside the refinery which we already have, and that's becoming a large, I would say, like a tier 1 asset for us globally. Obviously in the US, where we are now at an advanced stage of completing the Minnesota steel plant, something which we've started a while ago, but now it's nearing completion. It's a sort of $2.5 billion investment in the US in Minnesota to make iron ore pellets. So that's nearing completion. And then in India, we are investing in some projects in renewable power, and we are building a sustainable aviation fuel plant in Jamnagar. So broad range of investments which we have currently. Obviously, we keep looking at other things which we would like to do. We are pretty excited with the current slew of investments.
Right, and as far as global supply chains are concerned, it is fast-changing world. How do you focus there and keep yourself prepared for that?
I think 2 big changes have taken place. I think no one country would like to be over-dependent on any other one country, right, say China, for example, for their supplies. And so that's what has sort of triggered the debate. And India has a very, very key role to play in being an alternative source of low-cost manufacturing and becoming a key part of the supply chain globally. I mean, we've seen many examples in the last 1 year. I mean, what Apple is doing in India is a great example with their phones being made. We just saw semiconductor inauguration of the plant last week. Right. So India is suddenly now creating capacity, global capacity, to not only meet the domestic demand, but also become a preferred manufacturing country for international supplies. So I think India is integrating extremely well. That's why Prime Minister Modi keeps talking about the tremendous opportunity which we have, because we really can be the global manufacturing hub for the world. And with our low cost of manufacturing, with our efficiency, with our infrastructure, which has really improved by leaps and bounds in the last few years, I think it's a very, very strong position to be in. And I'm sure there will be significant more such investments coming.
Mr. Ruia, you mentioned about the focus on India, which is there as a group, but what is your strategy for the other countries as well?
I would say other countries, we principally have large investments in the UK. We have large investments in the US. We are amongst India's largest investors in those countries from India. And then we have some investments in Asia and Indonesia. So those are, I would say, the 3 real hubs for us. Globally, but the sectors which we are in, the opportunities are, there in other countries, whether it's Africa or Middle East. But as of yet, I would say these are the 3 main investment countries globally.
Right, and in the future, you would want to expand that view?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. We as I said, if the opportunities come in other parts, and they are coming, then we can. We would certainly like to approach them. I mean, we are following a very disciplined approach with our capital allocation. We are being extremely, prudent, and we are also being, we've increased the level of governance of the group at a very high level. And the reason for doing this is to ensure that the investments which we take up are, absolutely right, and they are the top of the stack when it comes to the various opportunities what we are looking at. So within that construct, absolutely open to making investments in other parts of the world. But as I said, these would be the primary focus for us right now.
So you will play on the merit of the ball.
We will play on the merit of the ball. Exactly. It's not the first ball six which I need.
So that's the strategy of the group. But you are a tech enthusiast, and how can we not discuss AI at the current time where the focus of even Indian government has been to build in that capacity, and even the companies have been actually ready for the transformation which AI is going to bring, and India wants to harp on that opportunity as well. How's your group looking at that?
Well, for us, our group is more heavy in terms of manufacturing and infrastructure and things like that, whereas AI, at least today, is having much more impact in the people, definitely, services, space. But what AI can do massively in a group like ours or in our businesses is actually improve our efficiency, basically bring down our costs, and that whole transformation is something which is going to come across all the manufacturing or infrastructure space. And so we look at it as an opportunity to embrace the AI and see how we can apply it to improve our quality, improve our costs, and frankly improve our margins. So that's where we see it. I don't think it's in our sectors, we don't see this as a threat. In fact, the biggest opportunity for us in AI is actually the world is going to be tremendously short of energy, of power. And we being a company which has been in power for the last 40 years, we look at this also as a big opportunity to be able to generate power globally and provide that for data centers and to run the AI. So the digital infrastructure is something which we look as an opportunity. So actually we think it's a good thing which is happening. Some industries are going to get badly affected, clearly, but fortunately we are not in that camp.
You have also been advocating and worked on carbon net neutrality, whereby we have seen so far it is more done due to the nudge of the government and the requirement of the hour. But how do you think even profitability in the long term can be achieved due to it?
I think you've touched on a very good point. I think, look, this is going to happen. Energy transition, my view, is going to happen for sure. It's something which which India has done a tremendous amount of work on, with renewable power and electric vehicles. We have introduced electric trucks, so it's come in a big way. My only point here is that there was earlier a feeling that all conservative or fossil fuel based industries are going to sort of go away and then or be replaced by all the renewable energy. I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be different solutions for different countries and different markets, but with both continuing. So you will continue to have the traditional sources, and you will bring possibly all the growth coming from the renewable sources. And having said that, at least the way we see it, we are focused on investing in this sector in a big way, but with projects which are economically viable. And when I say economically viable and profitable, I mean without depending on government for a subsidy. Because we don't believe, long term, large subsidies are not sustainable. Whether it is in India or whether it is in Europe or whether it is in America, it's the same issue. So we would rather invest in projects where the subsidies are lower and or non-existent, if at all. And then those technologies we think can stand on their own feet and have significant growth opportunity. And we're doing two of them. Renewable power, of course, but everybody's doing it. But and then our electric trucks, what we are doing, there's no subsidy involved. So in either making them or in operating them. And that's a very good place to be.
Definitely, you have touched upon renewable. I also want to draw your attention towards the retail sector where you are present. What is your strategy there?
The only place we are doing retail in a big way is in the UK, where we are building out a retail network of petrol pumps, or forecourts as they're called there, as a distribution for the refined product which we're making in the UK. It's a traditional business. It's not, of course, we're using all the latest technology to make sure that the customer has a great experience. But it's something which we are growing in the UK Our goal is to have about 500 retail outlets there, and with the Essar brand and with the Essar, and it's similar to what we did in India when we built 2,000 gas stations in India across the country when we had the refinery. So it's the same map, which we are playing on, and we think it makes sense, so we're doing it.
Right. If I want to sum up overall your strategy for the group in terms of what we have discussed, cricket analogy, and also the thing which you're fond of, you being tech enthusiast, how will you sum it up?
I don't think we're in the first 6 overs, but I do believe that we are in a race, because this, as I said, next few years we see as a very strong period of growth for the group. Just like many other groups are seeing that opportunity, and I do hope that in the next few years we can look back and we would have built out each of our businesses or many of our businesses into tier 1 assets which are competitive globally.
What does Prashant Ruia do when he's not coming to office, or he's in his business mode? What do you like?
Look, I obviously spending time with the family is the most important thing for me, and because I travel quite a bit, all the opportunity I get to spend with the family and the kids, and we have a large family, so with the family and the kids is primary. But other than that, a little bit of exercise, possibly every day for sure, and if I can get away, for a ski holiday or for spending some time with nature, then that's what I really enjoy.
And any Bollywood favorite movie or song you want to dedicate?
Well, I don't know about the song, but I must say that I enjoyed Dhurandhar extremely, and I think it's the best movie I've seen in a long time.
All right, Mr. Ruia, thank you so much for your time and explaining to our viewers not only in cricketing terms but also in Bollywood terms. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.